You play. Pick up. All right, hello, happy Monday. Are you ready for some movement? I think I could take my jacket off. It's been so cold. All right, so today I was thinking we'll do a little movement targeted to opening up the rib cage and your abdomen and chest and things like that. So if you have a yoga block, grab a yoga block. If you don't have a yoga block, you can grab a chair. Um, if you don't have a chair, you're just gonna do your best. But those are, you really just need something to place your hand on. We're gonna do a little bit of yoga today. So with that being said, we will get started, and we're gonna get started today lying down on our backs. So to get there, with um, intentional movement without just like flopping back, we'll start in a seated position, knees bent. You're gonna reach your arms forward. You'll take an inhale breath, breathing up tall, and notice how I'm lifting my rib cage and lifting through my low abdomen. As you exhale, you're going to start to C curve and start to roll yourself back. And then inhale, we're going to lift up. So we've done this before. As you exhale, you start to C curve the spine, and inhale, roll up. Try to relax the shoulders, the traps up here by your neck. And exhale, soften the heart back as you scoop from your pelvis. And inhale to lift. We're going to do 3 more. Exhale to soften the chest in, scoop the pelvis, soft shoulders, and inhale coming up. 1 more time. You're going to exhale just halfway down. Inhale, come up. And now we'll take it all the way down. If you want to grab behind your thighs, you can. On an exhalation, wait for your breath. You're going to soften the heart back, scoop from the pelvis. Keep scooping the pelvis as you roll all the way down. You'll take your hands by your sides and then draw your right knee into your chest. Extend your left leg nice and long in front of you. Grab your left knee with your right knee with your left hand. Cross the knee over the body as you reach your right arm out to a T. This isn't a level 10 stretch either, so you don't need to shove your body. You're just inhaling wide into your chest. Expand through the right pec all the way to your right palm, which is up facing the ceiling. Take 1 more breath here. Hi, Coco. And then you'll draw the knee back to the center and switch. So your left knee is going to come up. You're going to give it a little squeeze. Grab your left knee with your right hand. Left palm opens up to the ceiling, out to the side as you take your knee across the body and look towards your left hand. Again, you inhale, expand, lengthen across the left side of your chest, your bicep, your palm, your hand, right where Coco's kissing me. You're going to lengthen through that side as you inhale. And then exhale, draw the knees back to center. From here, take the knees onto the ground, both knees up to the ceiling, arms out to the T. Take your feet a little wider now than your mat. On your inhalation, keep the chest nice and open and take the knees to the left. As you exhale, navel sinks into the body, you bring knees to center. On an inhalation, knees go to the right, chest stays nice and open, shoulders are down onto the mat. Exhale back to the center. Do this a couple more times. And today, rather than the emphasis being on the twist, let's focus on the upper body, the shoulders, the arms, and the chest. As you're doing this movement with the low half of the body, our intention is to separate the upper half of the body. So notice as you breathe, if you can keep your upper body, your shoulders, head, arms, everything anchored and spread flat and wide on the mat, almost like you're a little like bug or splat on the ground, upper body, chest, shoulders, and arms. As you let your knees rotate side to side, using your breath, inhaling as you move the knees to each side and exhaling as you draw them into the center. We'll do a few more just to give you a chance to feel your upper body. For example, my arms are always historically tight, so I can feel this across my chest through to my biceps. We'll do one more on each side or wherever you are to even out. And this should just feel really good in the morning, massaging your sacrum and your pelvis. And then you'll draw both knees into the chest. Very nice. And then from here, take your feet onto the ground, both feet parallel. Hands are going to come by your sides. Your head is nice and neutral. Keep your gaze looking up towards the ceiling. You're going to roll your shoulders back, push the palms into the ground. So now I feel the back of my arm active. On an inhale, open the chest, prepare. As you exhale, you're going to scoop and roll the pelvis. Take an inhale when you find your highest lift. And then on the exhale, you're going to soften from above the navel, behind the navel, and then below as you lower down. Make sure you release all the way completely at the bottom. On the exhale again, we're just warming up our body. Activate the glutes. Feel the backs of your legs turn on. Lengthen the tops of the thighs forward to the knees. Push your whole pad of your foot into the ground as you actively scoop your pelvis towards your nose. So hold here, breathe wide across the chest, your arms press down, and exhale, start to lower from above the navel, behind the navel, and then below in that order. Take an inhalation, release the pelvis. Exhale, shoulders roll back, palms press as you scoop. Activate your glutes, your hamstrings lift. Lengthen your thighs forward as you continue to tuck your tail pubic bone to the face. Widen your shoulders now. Widen your collarbone. Hold. Feel the backs of your legs turn on. Palms press down. Wait for your breath. Inhale. As you exhale, slowly start to lower down from above the navel, behind the navel, and below. Very nice, guys. One last time. Take an inhalation. As you exhale, push the feet down, scoop, and begin to roll. Roll the shoulders back, soften your throat, press the feet into the ground, hold and breathe. Feel both the glutes on, the backs of the legs, palms are anchored, shoulders are away from the ears. Take one more inhale here before you exhale and start to lower all the way down, one bone at a time. Extend the legs nice and tall. So straighten your legs out. What goes in my way? Get a nice big stretch here. Good. And then as you exhale, pull your knees into your chest. And in no fancy way, just have a little fun. Maybe you're going to rock and roll and you're going to come onto hands and knees. So in any way that works for you, come up to hands and knees. All right. Shoulders are going to be right under the wrists or right over the wrists. Spine is nice and neutral. Knees are right under the hips. And now think about your elbows today. Let's give them a little softness. We all tend to put pressure into the elbow. So soften the elbows. Inhale, open the chest, cow pose. As you exhale, round, cat pose. Press your shins gently into the ground. Anchor through the palm of the hand. Inhale, open the chest, and you're taking your time here. Nice morning movement, slow and easy, just getting your body warmed up, getting it connected, finding all the little nooks and crannies as you breathe and move. Slowly filling your chest open in cow pose. As you exhale, your low abdominals lift. Oftentimes we make it about the upper back, but how much can you carve out into the low back. Few more times. Inhale, open the chest, soft elbows, shoulders away from ears. Exhale, the shoulder remains away from the ears as you round and lift the navel. One more time, just a neutral cow pose. And exhale, traditional cat pose. Let's add on a little bit more movement now. You inhale forward to cow pose, extending the upper back. As you exhale, lift the navel and now send your hips back towards your heels. But watch these shoulders. We don't want them to roll inward and up. We want them to roll externally away down from the ears. And then you inhale, glide forward, cow pose. Two more. Exhale, carve the navel, reach through the hips back towards the heels, stretching the outer arm. And then inhale, come forward. One more time, you're going to exhale to round, scoop the navel in, send the butt back. Inhale, come forward. All right, from your neutral tabletop, we're going to work into lateral bending. On an exhale, left hip, left shoulder. You're making a C curve to the left. Inhale, back to neutral, and you exhale, C curve to the right. And we're going to do this just a few times, tipping your spine side to side, taking your time so you can really feel. So here, can you tap into your rib cage on the sides? And as you C curve from side to side, can you feel the expansion in each rib? Hi, Dookie. Few more times, letting your body feel the movement as you breathe. Intention is to open up the rib cage. One more time to each side, wherever you are. Side bending. Fantastic. Now, toes together, tuck them forward today, like child's pose, knees a little bit wide. For child's pose, you don't want your knees like so wide. They should just be about as wide as your outer shoulder head. From here, you're going to send your butt back to hover. You're going to take your left arm out from the shoulder, reach your right arm to the center of the mat, keeping your spine nice and long. So now you're not going to shorten and C curve. You're going to keep that side body nice and long. And now we're rotating the rib cage around the spine. So you can think of your rib cage like a rotisserie around the spit in the middle, which is your spine. So collars trying to stay nice and even. Abdominals are still lifted. Take one more breath here. And then we're going to switch. So you lift, right arm comes out to the side, left arm reaches forward. Keep your spine nice and long. No curving of the spine. We're rotating the rib cage as you breathe in and out, exploring the movement, feeling your body, connecting to it, and taking your time to feel what we're doing. And we're going to do that a few more times now, rotating, alternating from side to side. And again, you're moving with your breath, nice and easy so that you can actually feel what you're doing. We're in no hurry. Monday morning movement is to connect to our bodies, to set the tone of the day, to feel. It's not to get, a level 10 stretch every time or a level 10 in impact. Sometimes the most subtle things are the best ways to move. And when you can actually feel and connect, and as it turns out, those can actually be even harder than just rushing through movement or doing things quickly. One more time to the left side. You're breathing into your rib cage, feeling the outer arm that's extended, getting a nice stretch through the rib cage, the lat, the armpit, the shoulder, the tricep even. And then we come to the opposite side. Last time, feels so good. This is one of my absolute favorite stretches. I always say if you could obviously take a lot of stretches to an island, but pretend you could only pick 3. This would be one of them for me. It's so good. So come back up to tabletop now. And let's continue to add on. You're going to extend your left leg back straight and it's on the ground. Squeeze your left glute. So we're not passive. We're actively holding it. Now you're going to pivot that bottom foot like a kickstand. The right foot comes behind the right knee. And now if you have a yoga block, this is where it'll come in handy. If you don't have a yoga block, you're going to just do your best, but you maybe want to lift yourself up if you're having a hard time taking this right hip and bringing it forward. So if you had a chair, maybe you'd come on your forearm on the chair. You know, just be creative and do your best. If you have none of the above, fingertips are always the best way. So you don't need to be totally flat. Be on your fingertips. Now, try to squeeze your left bum forward so that you're in a side plank alignment. Take this left hand palm facing downward to the ground, and you're going to reach it away as you inhale and lift your rib cage up towards the ceiling. But I'm not lifting my shoulder to my ear. My shoulder has nothing to do with it. You're breathing into your left rib cage. Your left leg is an anchor as you pull up and away through the left line of your upper body as the lower half of the body anchors towards that left heel. So you're creating an anchor with the left leg so you can reach up and away with the left arm. Watch those shoulders. Good, you guys. Hold for one more breath in. Very nice. And then you'll just close it down nice and neatly and switch the legs. So I'm going to turn around so I can see you guys. Right leg is going to go back now. And again, you're thinking of your lines here. We're not passively just flinging our body. Squeeze this right glute. Your left knee is going to pivot now like a kickstand. Reach your your right leg out to the side and anchor through this heel. So my right leg is very active. Right arm is going to reach up to the ceiling. And again, if this feels too tight, fingertips, or you can have your yoga block or a chair, whatever you can use to be creative to help yourself. And the reason we use props is to find the proper lines so you can actually feel the stretch. It is not an indication of your level of goodness at doing yoga or any move. So it's to help you actually access the pose better. So now from here again, we're reaching through this right leg. She is actively pulling and anchoring me so that my right arm and my rib cage, you saw that lift, can lift up and away from something as I expand through my rib cage, through the front line of my abdominals on the right side, all the way through my inner thigh to outer heel on that right leg. So always looking for these lines of connection in our bodies. Take one more big breath in here, and then go ahead and come down, and we're going to switch again. So from that tabletop position, you extend your left leg back. Squeeze your left bum as you rotate onto that right knee. Left hand comes up to the ceiling, and maybe this time you can cut your block. You can lower your hands if they were in spider fingers, or maybe if you were on the chair, you can just maybe slide your arm out a little further. So there's always ways. Now take this top arm. We're going to reach her over, and now feel your rib cage lift as your left glute. Don't forget about her. Squeeze this left butt cheek. She's got to participate. Anchoring that left leg and thigh and foot down to the ground so you can lift up, up and away into that left rib cage. Hold for one more breath in, and then you exhale, lower down to your tabletop. I'm only spinning around for the video. You guys could just switch your legs. Right leg extends out. Sorry, Coco. Left hand on the ground. We pivot, reach left or right arm up. This side is way tighter for me, by the way. You're going to squeeze this right glute. She's anchoring the low half of your body all the way to the leg. Do not forget about her, all right? Right arm comes up, and now she has an anchor, your butt and leg, to pull away from and to reach. Watch this left shoulder. She has a tendency, she's going to want to be eager up by your ear. Draw her away, or him, or they, whatever you prefer. But pull these shoulders out of it. So it's not about reaching from your shoulders starting at the head. It's about reaching from this rib cage, reaching from your tricep and anchoring from your right leg so that you actually have something to pull away from. Take one more breath in and then go ahead and come on down as you exhale. From your tabletop position, you're gonna tuck your toes under. And actually, if you're like me and you have socks on, it's time to take them off because we're gonna get into the standing poses for yoga and it does not work with socks. So no socks, not even Pilates socks, okay? So bare feet, you wanna feel your feet and we need the grip, and socks make a sliding, even if it's just your foot sliding. So we don't want that. All right, feet come wide. We're gonna take it easy. And now hands are, go wider than your shoulders too. It's your first down dog of the day. You're gonna lift your hips, send them up and back as you take your hips towards the ceiling and anchor your heels towards the ground. I'm gonna grab my chair. You guys hold, because I wanna remind people that if you're unable to do a down dog, which is actually very difficult, you could be right here. So hands are on chair, spine is long, and then sort of walk your arms forward as much as you can while you keep your legs nice and firm. Abdominals lifting, outer arms are extending. Wherever you are, you're gonna hold for 3. Roll the shoulders away from your ears and reach from that outer line like we did in those rotations through the rib cage. And now go ahead and walk hands to feet. So if you're at your chair, you can be like this. If you're at the floor, we're down here. And then on an exhale, you're gonna slowly roll all the way up. Very nice. All right, keep your chair handy or your yoga block. We're gonna stay on the mat facing forward. You're gonna take your feet really wide, wider than you think. And now push, look at your feet, like physically look. The outer edge of the foot needs to be pushing down into the ground. So we don't want the arches collapsing inward and the back outer edge of the foot lifted. So do your best to push those outer edges down as you lift your chest, arms out to a T. You're gonna hinge at the hips. Take your hands to the ground or your hands to your chair, okay? I'm gonna leave my chair and take my hands to the ground. Now reach your chest forward. This is not a passive pose. Back of the neck is long. Outer edges of those heels are pushing down. Now rotate your thigh bones internally as you push those outer heels into the ground. And you'll notice my legs are shaking a little. It's very difficult for me. Take one more breath in this neutral position. And then as you exhale, you're gonna bend into the right knee. But still keep your spine nice and long. And that back foot, what is she doing? Anchoring down. And then we glide to the other side. Right heel, right foot still planted into the ground. You're feeling a stretch along the inner thighs. We're gonna do this a few times. Breathe. Make sure as you hinge side to side, you're sort of biasing your booty back over the heel of the bent knee. So that left glute in this case for me is really holding. And now as I switch, I transfer it into my right glute. So we're doing our best to stay out of joints and in our muscles in the alignment as you breathe and open the inner thighs side to side. Very nice, you guys. Wherever you are, you're gonna even out. Still thinking about your feet, planting the feet nice and wide through the pad of the foot, even though you're anchoring through that heel. It can be difficult, but just keep practicing. Come back to center, hold evenly. You're gonna try to lift both hands at the same time. So whether you're on the chair or on the ground, lift hands to the hips and come on up. Keep your feet where they are. You're gonna turn your right toes to the front of the mat. Your back foot is gonna stay the same. Keep the left hip back as best you can. We're trying to be square to the front of the camera, or I guess you guys don't have a camera, to the front of the room. As you wrap the outer hips, you're gonna start to tip and lean. Let me grab my block. And you can either have your yoga block right by the outside of your right leg, or you can have your chair. So if I had a chair, I'd be higher up, which is totally fine. Right hand is down. And now again, let's not forget about this back left leg today. Press through that back left leg. Anchor the left heel down towards the ground. Now left arm is going to come up and we're going to take her over the ear, palm down. Just like you did in that side bend on the ground with the knee. So you're anchoring through that back left leg as you reach through the pinky and get length in that left side of your body. Watch this right shoulder, just like we did earlier. She's going to want to creep by the ear, but pull that shoulder blade down the back, spiral the bicep open. Ooh, and this is a lot of work. Take one more inhale as you firm your legs. Hold for your exhale. Now lift the left arm up. Inhale to come up. Turn the right toes. Turn the left toes. Move your block. Move your chair. All right, get acquainted with your feet. Take your time. We're lifting the quad, reaching through the toes. Back heel is pushing down and hips are neutral. We now tip the pelvis. Keep pushing strongly into these legs, you guys. This is not passive. You're stretching the inner thigh on the left and the outer line on the right. Your right arm comes up and you strongly push into that back heel. I'll sound like a broken record, but these cues, they are constant and they're easy to forget about. Your back butt cheek can want to take like a passive ride. She'll be like, I'm over it. So right now, mine turned off. Squeeze, push, lengthen through that front line. Right arm up now. Rotate the palm down and you're going to reach over the left to the left side, over the right ear. I mix up my rights and lefts all the time, guys, so just always bear with me. And I'll do my best to try not to. So now you're trying to pull the quad up. As you push that back heel down, we're getting a nice opening through that right side now. Take one more exhale. You're going to inhale, lift the right arm, and come, almost fell. Good thing the couch is behind me. Left toes forward, and then we're going to do it again. But before we do, let's bring our feet together for a second. If you almost fell like me, that's okay. Falling teaches us things, so never feel badly to fall. I've been falling since I was a little girl. All right, feet wide again. Back foot is anchored down. And remember, the padding of your foot is important. So you're trying to push through the padding of the foot as well as that back edge of the heel. It's going to want to curve in. Keep pushing it out. Right toes are coming forward. We're going to do it one more time. Outer hips are turned on. Right thigh is lifting as you lengthen the front of the foot. Start to tip. Keep that back heel pushing down. Right hand to your block. Left arm bicep towards the ear, palm towards the ground. And we breathe and hold, staying strong in your legs. Externally rotate both thigh bones as you press down and connect to your feet. Full body's connected, reaching through the thumb line of the arm and the pinky line. As you press that left thigh bone back in space, back in space. Take one more exhale. You inhale, lift the arm, come up, turn the right toes, turn the left toes, grab your block, move it over. Now find your legs again. So I'm reaching through that left foot. My quad on the left is pulling up. Right outer hip is pushing down. As we now tip, left hand comes to the ground. Right arm reaches up. And we just hold and breathe and feel. Keep wrapping your thighs externally as you lengthen through the inner left thigh. Inner heel reaches forward on the left. Outer heel reaches down on the right. I know these are very detailed cues, but it pays to get detailed in the body. Take that right arm over the ear, palm faces down. Keep trying to roll this whole right side of your rib cage open, not just your shoulder. The whole rib cage needs to spin. As you anchor that back leg down, push the right thigh bone back in space, back in space. The right glute is on. Good. Take an inhale as you lift your arm and come all the way up. Let's bring the feet together. Okay, we have like time for maybe one more move. My time always goes so fast in these 30-minute sessions. Let's do the beginnings of a twist and a lunge. So you're going to come down onto your knees. If you have your chair, you can keep your chair handy. Take your right foot forward. And then if you have a block, you can also use your block instead of the chair. So from here, you're going to squeeze the left outer hip, tuck the toe under. You're going to take an inhale, lift. As you exhale, actually, you could do whatever you want with that back foot. Sometimes I like it untucked, so you guys decide. Left outer wrist to right outer knee. And like you're taking a bow over that right hip, you're going to start to rotate your chest to the right. Keep rotating your right glute underneath you. Try to open and widen your chest. Collarbone stays wide. Heart is lifting up towards your chin as you lengthen your spine to twist. Outer hips are very active, you guys. They're holding you up. If you're on your chair, you're using it for balance to simply help you twist. Take one more breath in, and then you'll release, and you'll switch. So left leg comes forward, right knee is behind you. You're going to take this left hip, you roll it underneath you. So your left abdominals pulled in, your left glute anchors to the ground. Right hand open, back of the hand to knee, or you could just be, look, reaching to your chair. That's it. Otherwise, we continue to hinge and try to come lower. You're keeping your spine and collar tall and wide. So we're not like rounding to come over, right? Open up that chest. Pull that left hip down. Don't let her give up on you as you hold and breathe in your twist. Strong legs are so important to anchor you, to give your body stability to rotate from. Good, you guys. And then go ahead and release. We're going to do that one more time. You can choose to do exactly what we did, or you can choose to add on a layer. So from here, same setup, nice and tall, outer left hip on, outer right hip on, lower abdominals are in. You start to cross the arm over. Now you can either stay here or tuck that back toe and lift the back knee. Try not to let your left hip drop down. So your left abdominals and left glute keep you anchored so that the rotation happens in your spine. Hold for one more breath. If your back knee is up, lower it down. Exhale, and everybody switch. All right, one more time. Left foot forward. Left glute comes underneath you. Left foot is planted, full foot on the ground. Right palm crosses over as we hinge and keep everything nice and wide. So as soon as you feel your body falling out of alignment, it's a sign you've gone far enough and your flexibility is telling you to pause. If you'd like to lift that back knee, tuck the back toe and lift. Now keep pulling that left hip back. Right hip stays level. The rotation is happening not at the pelvis, but at your upper body, through the rib cage, just like we did in that child's pose to start. Anchor your full left foot onto the ground and squeeze that outer right hip. Don't forget about her. Hold for one more in breath. As you exhale, lower that back knee down. Take both feet back, and if you have a block, you can place it under your butt and just sit back onto your knees. If you don't have a block, you can sit on the ground or on your chair. Wherever you are now, hands on the thighs, sit up nice and tall, and just come back into your breath. Take a nice big inhale through your nose. Nice big exhale out your mouth. 2 more times, big breath in. Big breath out. Last one, inhale. Good. And then exhale. Awesome. Take your block away, and we'll just finish the way we started today. So you're going to take your legs bent, feet on the ground, and notice if it feels different. So a lot of times, especially a move like this, which requires space in the spine, it feels better after you've warmed up. So just take note if it feels different, better, same from when we started. Arms reach forward, take an inhalation. As you exhale, we're scooping from the pelvis. As you soften your heart inward, roll back, hold, breathe in, relax your shoulders. And exhale, roll forward, articulate, upright spine. Two more. Exhale, heart softens in, shoulders stay relaxed as you scoop through your pelvis. And inhale up. We go all the way down on this one. So feel free to grab behind your thighs if you need to. You're going to exhale and start to slowly roll all the way down. And then just draw both knees into your chest. We'll take a little figure four. So your foot can stay on the ground or you can lift it up. Right foot is flexed. Hips are staying. So what won't help your stretch in a figure four is if your butt lifts up like this. This does not do anything. You need to keep your butt and pelvis neutral, and you're hinging at your hip. You're not rolling your whole pelvis with you. And then go ahead and switch. So pelvis stays anchored. Left foot is actively flexed, so is the right. And you're hinging at the hips. I'm not letting my whole butt tuck and lift, right? So you keep that down and you get a nice stretch on the outer left hip now into your left butt cheek. Good. And then one more time, knees draw into the chest. And let's take a grab behind our thighs. You're going to hollow out your body. Rock and roll one more time. And you're trying to see if you can hit each segment of your spine. That low back can be really tricky, especially early in the morning. It kind of kerplunks through and it doesn't actually hit. One more time, you're going to cross your ankles, roll over your thighs, and come into a forward fold, wherever that is for you. So if you need your chair, find your chair. Let your head hang heavy. And now everybody look at their feet. Our feet are so important. You're going to spread your feet wide, pushing into the outer pinky edge and the ball of the big toe, and then the outer heel and the inner heel. So you're using your whole foot. Let your head hang. Enjoy. Back of the neck grows long, the back, muscles by the shoulder blades. And then on an exhale, you'll soften your knees. Keep your feet planted as you slowly roll all the way up. Roll your shoulders back. And we're done, you guys. So good job today. A little bit of yoga. I hope you enjoyed. If you didn't have all of the props or you got confused or something, don't worry about it. Join me next week and we'll keep on working. If you're new to my class, like any teacher, it takes time to speak the same language. So give another shot. Every week you'll start to hear me saying sort of the same types of cues. It's the language that I use to connect you to your body. And it gets better. If you're a paid subscriber, these video recordings all live in a library under my podcast tab. That's where Substack likes to keep them. So you can go see my live cooking, meditations, and past movement classes if you're a paid subscriber. So anyways, I hope you join me this Thursday for guided meditation and visualization. We do fun things like visualize ourselves doing things. So it's not necessarily only about grounding meditation. It's also really about connecting your mind to your body so that you can see yourself actually doing things. It's really important to be able to connect deeply to your body and be able to see them do stuff. And then this weekend, actually, the third Sunday of every, or it's the last Sunday of every month, excuse me, is the live cooking. So I'll be sending out ingredients through my newsletter. If you want to do the cooking with me live, everyone's welcome. It's on Sunday at 5 o'clock. And again, those recordings go into the podcast tab where paid subscribers can have it all the time. So if you have any questions on any of the movement, I love talking movement. You can write me a message here. You can DM me. You can send me a note. Whatever it is, I love talking about the body. So I hope that felt good. I hope you feel a little bit more open in your rib cage and your side body, and you have a fabulous week. All right. Bye, guys.